She was the voice of Armed Forces Radio in the late 60s and early 70s. How CHRIS NOEL is still working hard for veterans. Today, Sunday, April 15th, 2007.
Now, from the #1 rated television station in Florida, this is Today on 5.
If you're a Vietnam veteran, you know the name CHRIS NOEL. The West Palm Beach native was the voice of Armed Forces Radio in the late 1960s and early 70s. She put her acting career as a Hollywood starlet on hold to serve her country and entertain the troops. As John Favoli reports from the anchor desk, these days, when many people her age are planning their retirement, CHRIS NOEL is still working hard for the vets.
The Vetsville ceasefire house sits tucked away in a Boynton Beach neighborhood. Inside, you find the mementos of Vietnam and the pain of war. It's written on these faces. But before we delve further into this soldier sanctuary, it's important to meet its founder.
Who is CHRIS NOEL?
CHRIS NOEL.
CHRIS NOEL. CHRIS NOEL. CHRIS NOEL.
Here she is, CHRIS NOEL.
A former Hollywood starlet who counts Elvis Presley,
Thank you.
Steve McQueen, Jackie Gleason, and Dennis Hopper among her leading men. In fact, when some were calling her the next Marilyn Monroe, she gave it all up and headed to Vietnam to entertain the troops.
You gotta make the morning last.
I went to the hospital in San Diego and San Francisco, and I went to the gangrene ward of double and triple amputees. And when I left, I mean, it just like totally changed my whole being, and I knew that I had to do something.
She did something all right. CHRIS ditched Hollywood and hit the airwaves over Armed Forces Radio, a real-life version of the Robin Williams character in Good Morning Vietnam. This was her life from 1966 to 1971, a long way from her former safe make-believe world.
We're in a vehicle, and there's wire on all the windows, and I go, well, why is the wire on all the windows? That's in case they throw a grenade, it'll bounce right off. Okay.
CHRIS went where the action was. She was even shot down once while riding in a helicopter. But her biggest tragedy came after the war, when her fairy tale marriage ended quickly and tragically.
This is the fellow that I met in Vietnam, Captain Ty Harrington, and he became my husband. And then he came back, and we were married 11 months, and he put a gun to his head in Nashville and killed himself, and that was pretty devastating.
Oh, CHRIS.
It was horrible.
Having dealt with the after effects of war personally has allowed CHRIS to open her heart to vets who are dealing with their own issues.
Veterans can always use a little support. The ones here in South Florida are very fortunate to have someone like CHRIS NOEL in their corner. She's making things happen.
Great to see you.
Sometimes it's a hug for a former tenant at the Veterans House, or a job overseeing the place.
What has CHRIS's efforts allowed you to do?
Was actually give me a place to stay and just keep myself busy.
For others, this non-profit facility that provides shelter and care is the difference between life and death.
I've got post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't, I get enough money from the VA to just move somewhere else. But if I did that, I'd probably end up killing myself. I get support.
If you would like to help CHRIS and support these vets, there's a fundraiser coming up next month. It's the 9th annual Rock and Roll Sunday on May 20th from noon to 6 at Green Acres Community Park. It features live music and a classic car and motorcycle show. Call 676-8036 for more information or go to our website, WPTV.com. All proceeds benefit the Veterans Ceasefire House, the house that CHRIS built. John Favoli, News Channel 5.